Good evening, one and all present. Am I audible?
Yes, clear and loud.
Okay, thank you. Uh, Welcome, one and all. On behalf of BIOZO Club and Department of Biotechnology, I welcome the highly talented life coach, motivational speaker, entrepreneur with over 10 years experience, Mr. Anand Vardhan Das, a BTech from IIT Kharagpur. We would be proud as engineer to have such an eminent engineer among us. The topic of the session for today is discover the invisible barrier within. Now I would request sir to take over and help us unveil our inner potential. Please sir enlighten us with your words.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes sir.
Okay. So, super evening, folks. Very happy to be with all of you and feeling very privileged. I heard that CET Bhubaneswar is amongst the best colleges, one of the best colleges in Orissa. And in fact, I'm very happy to be amongst the best students in Orissa and amazed to see the efforts put by this BIOZO club. Uh, One fine night, I think I was about to take rest around 11:30, 12 o'clock. One of your representatives suddenly contacted me, and I didn't know, to be honest, what is this BIOZO club and everything. Anyhow, we just got into the conversation, and as I got to know, so I was very happy that such a wonderful college, and I will get to interact with such wonderful students. And past few days, I have been hearing and seeing on YouTube a lot of celebrity bites. Of course, it is in Oriya, so I don't know Oriya that nicely. That nicely means I don't know at all. I can understand Bengali a bit, but cannot understand Oriya. So, but I could see the enthusiasm. I could see that spirit, and I was very happy that your spirit and your determination is so strong that even this unprecedented time of Corona, right, and this COVID-19, where which has brought entire world literally to a standstill. Even this could not stop you, and the credit goes to you. The credit goes to your faculties and other coordinators who were coordinating this entire fest. And if not physically, you have organized this wonderful virtual fest with so many of guests. And yesterday I saw your this various events that you are organizing for participants, and amazing events like for all types of talented people, and giving chance for the students to exhibit their talents in front of a crowd and everything. So it is a very wonderful effort, and congratulations from my side. And personally, I am very happy to be with all of you. And when I was preparing what to speak for this evening, suddenly I started remembering my days in IIT Kharagpur, because this is a sort of cultural fest where a lot of celebrities are coming. So I started remembering my days. Like I still remember, my student days in Kharagpur. I used to somehow managed to get up and rush for my classes. 7:30 the classes would start, and 7:30 to 12:30 the classes would be there, and then rush back to the hostel, take my lunch, and then again go back and have attend the labs and everything, and then again come back and then have little rest and then do little masti and everything in the hostel, and then study, and then uh, prepare for the next day. And in between there would be this wonderful cultural fest. So our in IIT Kharagpur, the cultural fest was known as Spring Fest, where they would call they would have a lot of cultural events, and students from all over Bengal, and many places from all over India, in fact, and mostly from Eastern India, they would come and participate in the fest, in various activities and various events. And it would be like the entire campus would turn into something like so many students, and it would appear that we are in a amidst some great festivities. The atmosphere would become very festive. And then we would have Tech Fest, that was Chitij, and then again a festive atmosphere. The best of the entrepreneurs of the country would come, and the best scientists, talented people would come, give their talks and everything. So it was such a wonderful experience. And then Diwali, we would not get holidays in Diwali. We would have to celebrate our Diwali in the campus only. So in Diwali, there would be special celebration. We would call it as illumination, Ilu, and the hostels would put. There was an inter-hostel competition. Hostels would put rangoli and wonderful illumination of the diyas and everything. So it was amazing, and the days were amazing. And frankly speaking, when I was doing my graduation, I could not realize the importance of those college days. And when I passed out, then I started to think, and I started to miss those wonderful college days. So one thing I would like to tell all of you, that please make the best possible use of your college days. Of course, as far as the studies are concerned, yes, do study very properly, and at the same time participate in all the extra academic activities and everything. Yeah, keeping it in a balanced way. Don't go too much unbalanced. Manage your studies well, but at the same time participate in the activities which can help you for a good personality growth and everything, and make the best use and live fully those college days, because once you move out of the college after a few years, you are going to miss those days, right? As you will progress in your age, you are literally going to miss those wonderful college days. So by seeing all of you, I am getting a little emotional, and I am remembering my those wonderful college days that I am still missing. So that's why I'll start my this PPT presentation. Just a minute. Yeah. So that's why I have coined a word, yaad rahega. Because I don't know Odia, so I will be coining Hindi word, yaad rahega. Those college days हमें याद रहेंगे, हम भूल नहीं सकते उन्हें. So if you agree with me, type in the comment box याद रहेगा, right? Let us have this wonderful, with this wonderful theme in our mind कि वो college के दिन, अभी जो आप college के दिन, whatever days you are experiencing and spending in your college, we will remember them. याद रहेगी, ये दिन याद रहेंगे. ये virtual fest, this unprecedented time, we will remember, and we will remember how, even though the time was unprecedented, the tough time was there, the entire world was down because of this pandemic, but still we were we could not be stopped, right? And we were very strong in our spirit, and we organized this wonderful virtual fest, JIVAM 2020. So ये जो दिन है, ये जो समय है, हमें याद रहेगा. So with these words, we will start the topic for today, discovering the invincible warrior within. So you must be wondering, what is this topic, sir, and why I have given this name, and what is this topic all about? So as our host was telling, yeah, we have a lot of potential within. Sometimes I tell that as far as everyone wants to be a winner, so everyone has a winner within, right? But you just have to change your mindset. You just have to work on yourself, work on your personality to discover that winner which is there within you. Similarly, the warrior is there within, right? You just have to make a little bit of change. You have to understand certain things to discover that invincible warrior, a warrior which can never be defeated. That invincible warrior has to be discovered within ourselves. So that is the topic for today, and we will try to understand in this 1 hour how we can discover what is the importance of this uh, uh, having this warrior spirit, this warrior mindset in our personality, how we can discover that. And we will also be seeing the example of some of the wonderful, successful personalities whom we can very much relate with. They are our source of inspiration. I'll be telling you about the fighting spirit, the warrior spirit of Steve Jobs. The Steve Jobs is someone whom I take a lot of inspiration from, and all of you know that he was he is no more with us, but the founder of Apple and the person responsible for taking Apple to such heights where we see the company now. So this will be the topic for the discussion. So let us move ahead without any delay. Yeah. So nowadays, I am seeing that, sorry to say, nothing to make fun of anyone and nothing to, like, it's not to put anyone down, but I'm seeing as time is changing, we are lacking mental strength. That is something which we are lacking in our personality, right? We are lacking that mental toughness, right? And one thing we have to understand, life is going to be filled with ups and downs, like we are seeing now, this unprecedented time of Corona, COVID-19 is going on. I was with a group of individuals, and we were speaking about mental health, and they were telling that because of this Corona pandemic, many people they are suffering mental problems. And I was trying to tell them, see, bhai, as far as problems are concerned, they are always going to be there. These type of tough situations are always going to be there. One situation, one tough situation will come and it will go away, and after some time another tough situation will come. I was telling them that when I passed out from my college in 2009, I was like, we were sitting for our placement, and that was the time when recession came, right? It was that like a huge recession all over the world, and some of the companies, the best of the companies which would come every year to our college, they didn't turn up. And like and like some of the best companies, some of the most famous and established names, they got bankrupt, right? So it was a very negative period. But after 1 2 years, everything was over, right? It was such a tough time that some of my batchmates, they could not even get placed. But after 1 2 years, when we when I contacted them, yeah, they were very much nicely placed in best of the company, right? So then after some time, just before this pandemic, there was economic slowdown, and there was a discussion that recession may come back again, right? And then suddenly this pandemic outbreak happened in China, and through China it spread all over the world, and suddenly we were hit by this pandemic, right? And then maybe in the future some more problems may come up, right? And this is one of the pandemics. Before this, we know, like swine flu was there, and then Ebola was there. So like that, so, and like all over India, all these malaria, dengue, all these things, they keep going on, right? So the tough times, they keep coming and they keep going, and these are the tough times which are beyond our control. Then some of the tough times will come in our career, in our personal life, right? So this unprecedented times, these tough times, these ups and downs, these challenges, these changes will keep coming in our life. What we need to do is we should have mental toughness. We cannot avoid these changes. We cannot avoid these challenges, right? And if we run away from them, we cannot even run away from them. We have to face it, right? So that's why I feel that because of various reasons, we have become a little bit mentally less tough. We are lacking that mental toughness because life is going to throw us, literally throw challenges at us, and we have to be mentally tough. We have to be mentally strong to face those challenges, right? So that's why I feel youth lack mental toughness. I would like to tell two uh, 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 jokes. These are real incidents, and uh, uh, these jokes are मैं हिंदी में सुनाऊंगा क्योंकि हिंदी में थोड़ा इफेक्ट उसका ज्यादा आता है, आपको थोड़ा सा हंसी आएगा. So, and I beg forgiveness if these jokes hurt anyone. Please forgive me. And if some faculties are watching, please, sir and madam, please forgive me. Like I'm speaking these jokes for the youth, so hope you will grant your permission for for me to speak. So once one boy he came to me and he was crying, बहुत बुरी तरह से रो रहा था, and he was literally crying like a baby. So I was surprised. I started because he was crying. I started asking him, "What happened? Why you were crying? And what is the matter?" And he was not speaking. He was not speaking. And then I started getting little impatient. I said, "बता तो भाई क्या हो गया? Why you are putting me in suspense? मुझे इतना भी क्या हो गया कि तू रोए जा रहा है? तेरे को आज तक कभी रोते हुए नहीं देखा. हमेशा हंसता रहता था. दूसरों को रुला रहा था तू. और आज तू खुद रो रहा है, तो क्या कारण है? ऐसी क्या सिचुएशन हो गई? मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा सस्पेंस लग रहा है कि दूसरों को रुलाने वाला आदमी आज खुद रो रहा है." तो फिर आफ्टर सम टाइम ना ही कंट्रोल्ड हिज इमोशंस एंड देन ही सेड, सर ब्रेकअप हो गया. तो मैंने कहा ब्रेकअप हो गया? तो आई सेड अच्छा, तो ब्रेकअप हो गया तो कोई बात नहीं, आगे बढ़ जाओ. वो ब्रेकअप हो गया, वो जिससे भी ब्रेकअप हुआ है तुम्हारा, शी वाज नॉट वरीड अबाउट यू, व्हाई यू हैव टू वरी अबाउट हर, जस्ट मूव अहेड, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? तो देन ही स्टार्टेड, सर ये पहली बार नहीं हुआ है. मैंने कहा पहली बार नहीं हुआ? तू बोलना क्या चाह रहा है? पहली बार नहीं हुआ है, कितनी बार हो गया तेरा? तो बोलता है कि सर ये 5वीं बार है. एंड दिस इज रियल स्टोरी, आई एम नॉट मेकिंग इट अप. 5वीं बार. मैंने कहा 5वीं बार तेरा हो गया? बहुत एक्सपीरियंस खिलाड़ी लग रहा है तू तो, बहुत ज्यादा मंझा हुआ खिलाड़ी लग रहा है. 5वीं बार हो गया तेरा ब्रेकअप? तो ब्रेकअप पैचअप और फिर तेरा ब्रेकअप फिर तेरा पैचअप, तो काफी एक्सपीरियंस्ड प्लेयर लग रहा है तू, राइट? सो देन आई वाज टॉकिंग टू हिम. आई सेड व्हाट इज द, क्या इतना क्या प्रॉब्लम है भाई? तू आगे बढ़, लाइफ में हो गया, ये सब सिचुएशन चलती रहती है. चल ठीक है, एक बार हुआ, दूसरी बार हुआ, 5 बार हो गया, अब तू लेसन सीख ले, आगे बढ़, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बोला सर आपका शादी हुआ है क्या? तो मैंने कहा कि ये क्यों पूछ रहा है तू मेरे से? शादी हुआ है नहीं हुआ है उससे क्या लेना देना है? यू हैव कम टू मी फॉर हेल्प एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू सपोर्ट यू. मेरे से, मेरा शादी हुआ है नहीं उससे क्या मतलब है? बोला सर शादी नहीं हुआ इसीलिए तुमको पता नहीं है कि ना हाउ मच पेनफुल इट इज. तो आई सेड, आई स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग. आई सेड या प्रोबेबली मेरा शादी नहीं हुआ है इसीलिए मुझे पता नहीं है कि आपका पेन कितना है, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. So anyhow, I was trying to help him out and thoda, I pacified him a bit and then helped him to move forward in his life. But I realized that this guy, uh, because of undergoing a lot of emotional turmoils in his life, ups and downs, and a lot of getting into relationships, and then you know, the like all of you guys, you know, there is breakup, and once breakup happens, the heart literally breaks, and then after some time we work hard, there is patch up, and then we are a little bit happy, and then again break up, and then again patch up, and then again break up, then again patch up. So all these things they go on, but I was just feeling that this guy is little bit lacking that mental toughness to face the unprecedented situations in his life, the changes in his life, the tough situations in his life. And then there is another story. One of my friend, he calls me. He is in. He is. He is actually in civil services. He got selected and in high position in police and everything. So he called me and he said, "Bhai, tu kya kar raha hai?" So I said, "Yes, I am into this motivational speaking and everything." He said, "यार इतना लग रहा है ना कि सब छोड़ दूं मैं, ये पुलिस का जॉब सब छोड़ दूं और ना कहीं बाहर चला जाऊं. लग रहा है कि आई एम फीलिंग वेरी डिसगस्टेड, आई एम फीलिंग लाइक गिविंग अप एवरीथिंग." आई सेड व्हाट हैपेंड भाई, इतना ज्यादा तेरे अंदर ये छोड़ने वाली चीज कहाँ से आ गई? कॉलेज में तो तू ऐसा नहीं था. तो ही सेड कि क्या बताऊं ना, प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही है और घर में मैं जिंदगी से परेशान हो गया हूँ, घर से परेशान हो गया हूँ. मैंने कहा घर से परेशान हो गया इतना जल्दी? अभी तो तेरा शादी हुआ था एक हफ्ते पहले, मतलब 1 महीना पहले ही तो तेरा शादी हुआ था और इतनी जल्दी तू परेशान हो गया? तो बोला नहीं 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 भाई, गलत मत समझ. ना प्रॉब्लम ये हो गया है कि मेरी जो ना माय वाइफ एंड मेरी जो मम्मी है, माय मदर, दोनों के बीच में जबरदस्त लड़ाई चलता रहता है, बहुत लड़ाई होता है। तो उसके कारण मैं इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया हूँ, उन दोनों के बीच में मेरी चटनी बनती रहती है, और मैं इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया हूँ कि लग रहा है कि पूरा ये फ्रस्ट्रेशन का कोई लिमिट नहीं है, लग रहा है कि सब छोड़ दूं मैं, पूरा पूरा मेरा हालत खराब हो गया, माइंड का पूरा कचूमड़ बन गया, मेरी चटनी बनती जा रही है। तो anyhow, I started telling him, I was telling, भैया ये जो सास बहू का लड़ाई, ये कोई नया है क्या इंडिया में? पूरे इंडिया में होता है ना, इंडिया का कल्चर का पार्ट है ये। So many soap operas and TV serials are there on सास बहू का लड़ाई, क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी, पता नहीं क्या क्या, lot of things. Of course, I don't watch soap operas and TV serials. But the point is, like it's a regular thing. कौन सा ऐसा घर है जहाँ पे ये सब नहीं होता? इतना टेंशन लेने का क्या है? इतना प्रॉब्लम्स लेने का क्या है? जस्ट फेस द सिचुएशन एंड सॉर्ट इट आउट, बी लिटिल मैच्योर्ड एंड जस्ट सॉर्ट आउट द सिचुएशन. So anyhow, after talking to him again, I realized that nowadays the times are changing, and small things are bothering people a lot. Small problems are bothering people a lot, and whenever a little bit of challenge, these are little funny examples which I gave, but even otherwise also a little bit of failure in the life, and people feel like giving up, and people become so frustrated, they become mentally ill, mentally sick, and they have to seek advice for mental health. And I'm surprised, I said, Arey baba, pehle to, like it was not like that earlier, right? And a little bit of disappointment in relationships, a little bit of कि उसका job नहीं लगा, and then he becomes frustrated, and a little bit of he tries entrepreneurship. Nowadays everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, so he tries entrepreneurship, the business idea doesn't work, वो frustrate हो जाता है. And sometimes, just 2 days back, one boy called me, he said, sir, I am facing a lot of rejections in my business. Like in business, you have to approach your clients and everyone, and they were rejecting him because of certain things. So I said, baba, be prepared. When you are trying to establish your business, these ups and downs will come. You will be rejected by people. You will have to face some failures. You will have to face your ideas will fail sometimes. So be ready for it. Why you are not ready for it? Just expect these problems in your life and face them and just move ahead. There was no one who had a smooth journey to success, right? There is no one whose path of success was filled with roses. Rather, it is filled with a lot of thorns, right? So that's why I want to make a point that nowadays we are lacking mental toughness. We are lacking that warrior spirit. We have to cultivate that warrior spirit, and we have to cultivate that mental toughness and understand that it's not difficult. Please understand that. Just like I was telling you, everyone has unlimited potential. Why you have to conduct yourself, you have to program your mind in a way by which you can utilize your full potential. Similarly, we have that warrior spirit, we have that fighting spirit within us. We have to just train ourselves, we have to train our mind, we have to program ourselves in a way by which we can we can discover that warrior which is there within. Everyone wants to be a leader, everyone wants to be a winner, right? So we have that leader, we have that winner within. We just have to discover that leader or winner, and we have to program ourselves, train ourselves, so that we can discover it and bring it out in front of the masses, right? So that's what I want to tell in this discussion today. And as I was telling, life is like a battle. Hmm? We can compare our life like a battle, right? As I was telling, the tough situations will keep coming. Failures and success will keep coming. Sometimes you will get a lot of respect. Sometimes people will not respect you, right? Sometimes the situations will be tough. Situations will be beyond your control, like this, as I was telling you, pandemic, recession, and the different type of economic slowdown, and so many things, right? So sometimes situation will be beyond your control, sometimes they will be within your control, right? So these ups and downs, it is said, rather life is like a roller coaster, sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes down. This keeps going, right? So it is like a battle, right? And we have to fight that battle. The challenges, the ups and downs, and the hard times, the tough situations will be thrown towards us. Literally, they will be thrown towards us, and by the destiny, and we have to fight against them. Right? Most of the people, they rather than fighting against the situations, rather than facing the situations, they have the tendency to avoid those situations. They have the tendency to be fearful, and become depressed, become stressed out, and start having negative thought patterns and everything, and start cultivating the inferiority complex and all these things. So this is not the way to deal with the life. This is not the way to handle the situations in our life. Understand, life is like a battle. It is like a battle, and you are supposed to fight the battle, right? You are supposed to fight the battle. You cannot run away from the battle. And this is inevitable. This battle of life is inevitable. Please understand that. No one can avoid. No one is an exception to this battle of life. This battle of life is going to come to you. Situations are going to fall, literally fall upon you. You cannot avoid it. So that's why life is like a battle. And in the battle, what is expected, right? When a soldier goes to the battlefield, what is expected of him? कभी कोई आपने कभी देखा होगा कि the soldier who goes for war, right? Suppose he goes to the border, India-China border, and sorry, it's India-China border or India-Pakistan border, है ना? और soldier वहां पे जा रहा है. What he should expect? What he should expect? Should he expect that वो पाकिस्तान और चाइना वाले जो है उसके लिए फूल माला लेकर के खड़े होंगे, उसको जाएगा तो फूल बरसाएंगे, उसका पूरा वेलकम करेंगे, एक बड़ा सा स्टेज बना के रखेंगे उसका उसको उसको रेस्पेक्ट करने के लिए, एंड देन दे विल फीड हिम पूरी सब्जी एंड हलवा एंड बेस्ट ऑफ द फीस्ट, मिठाई खिलाएंगे उसको, राइट? दैट्स व्हाट ही कैन एक्सपेक्ट व्हेन ही गोज टू द बैटलफील्ड, राइट? व्हाट ही कैन एक्सपेक्ट, और ही कैन एक्सपेक्ट कि बैटलफील्ड एकदम पीसफुल रहेगा, वहां पे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होने वाली है, वहां पे बस मैं जाऊंगा और चद्दर तान के सो जाऊंगा आराम से और घंटों घंटों रेस्ट लूंगा. यहाँ पे जो मिलिट्री कैंप है इधर बहुत खटाया, इन्होंने बहुत प्रैक्टिस कराया, कम से कम वहां जाकर के थोड़ा रेस्ट ले लूंगा. This he can expect, right? So when a soldier goes to the battlefield, what he can expect? Uh, he will expect dangerous situations. He will expect that there will be danger. There is going to be danger. There will be threat to his life. There will be a lot of firing happening, and the weapons going and everything. And the enemy is trying to attack you. The enemy is trying to get over you, right? The enemy is trying to get control over you. The enemy is trying to infiltrate in your area. So it is going to be a tough situation. He cannot go with an expectation, oh, I will go and I will have a wonderful time. I will get nice rest and I will get nice things to eat, and I will get a lot of respect and garlands and fool mala and everything. This is a wrong expectation by that soldier, right? So similarly, when we are fighting this battle of life, in this battle of life, there will be ups and there will be downs also. Please understand, there will be success, but there will be failures also, right? So you cannot always expect positive situations. You cannot always expect wonderful situations. There are going to be some tough situations because it is like a battlefield. There are going to be struggles in your life. Why? Because this is a battle of life, right? You cannot just expect, oh, everything will go on smoothly, everything will go as per my expectations. Nah, never, right? It's not always, it doesn't always happen. It's not that everything will go as per we are expecting in our life. It is unreasonable expectation from life, right? So that's why life is like a battle, and it is like a struggle. And in the battlefield, please look at this statement and remember this throughout your life. In the battle, one who struggles and fights survives. Please understand, in the battlefield, a soldier who is complacent, right? Who is complacent, who doesn't struggle, who doesn't fight, just goes there and starts just roaming around, wasting time. He will not be able to survive for long. The bullet of the enemy will hit him very soon. He is rather preparing for that, right? By being complacent in the battlefield. In the battlefield, we cannot remain complacent, right? Similarly, in the battle of life, we have to have this struggle. We have to have that fighting spirit. In the battle, one who struggles, one who fights survives, right? In the battle of life, one who struggles, right? You must have heard that theory, the survival of the fittest, right? So one who struggles, one who fights, survives, right? The other day, as I was telling, I was attending this wonderful conference on mental health, and I was telling them, ki, bhai, now the times are changing. You have to adapt yourself to the changing times. You have to adapt yourself. You have to change yourself. You cannot change the situations around you, but you can change yourself, adapting to the situation. That is what is in your hand. And those people who adapt themselves, like for example, this COVID-19 pandemic, the industries, those who have adapted themselves, right? Those who were successful in adapting themselves to this COVID-19 situation, they are doing well. But some of the industries, some of the businesses, they literally collapsed, right? Why they collapsed? Because they failed to adapt to the changing situation, right? They were not ready for this change, massive change which came. This COVID-19 made some, the fortune of some people went very high because of this COVID-19 time, while some people, they fell in the ditch because of the same thing, failure of adaptation, right? They could not adapt themselves to this changing corona pandemic times, right? So that's why the life, one who struggles, one who adapts, one who constantly works on changing himself. Even if you see in the business scenario, those companies who change themselves because technology keeps changing, the customer's mindset keeps changing, the times keep changing, right? Like for example, there is a famous case study of Nokia company. So this Nokia company, earlier it was the in the mobile market, it was leader. It was number one company in India and all over the world. But as soon as Android came and all these changes started happening and a smartphone came, and then, but Nokia, they failed to change themselves with the changing times. They thought, okay, no Android. They started adapting something which was not customer friendly, right? And then what happened? After some time, the Nokia was wiped off of the market. And then now again they are struggling a lot to establish their position in the market. So please understand, those people, those companies, and if they, those who fail to adapt, be it personal life, be it business, or be anywhere, anything, those people, those businesses, those individuals who fail to adapt themselves to the changing situations, they are wiped off in due course of time. Sorry to say that, but this is what is the rule of this world. So that's why in this battle of this life, one who struggles, don't give up the struggle of your life. Don't be that warrior, one who struggles, one who fights, he survives, right? So when we go in the battlefield, we cannot just expect an easy journey. We cannot just expect like a happy times. We have to expect difficulties. We have to expect dangers, and we have to prepare ourselves for those tough situations. So that's what we have to understand. And and then the more you sweat in the peace, the less you bleed in the war. This is a common saying, right? So as I was telling, the situation is not just like, as I was telling, yeah, we can compare our life like battlefield, but it's not literally like battlefield. Or we can say, yeah, in the battlefield also there is sometimes peaceful situation and then there is war. Similarly, in the life also, sometimes peaceful situations will be there, sometimes happy times will be there, sometimes everything will be happening in life as we are expecting, everything will be falling place in our life. Yeah, the situations are there. At the same time, sometimes tough situations will be there. Sometimes we will find everything we are trying to do is going wrong, and everything is happening as we have not expected them to be. So that's why sometimes up, sometimes down. The situations will be there. But one thing you have to understand: when peaceful time is there, when you are happy, when everything is going well for you, during that time, what you are doing, that is something which is very important. As far as business is concerned, right? The business, when they are when everything is going on, they are making good profit and the customer base is wonderful and everything, they are the leader. They also have to keep preparing themselves for the future. They should be future ready. They have to work on the future technology as well. Otherwise, if they don't prepare themselves for the changing times, they have to prepare themselves for the change. If they don't prepare themselves for the changing times, they are too busy enjoying their success. They are too busy with the current times, but not able to plan for the future. What will happen? Same thing when the time will change. when the technology will change, when the customer's mindset will change, when the customer's need will change, they will be wiped off of the market, right? So similarly, when peaceful times are there in the life, when we are happy, when everything is going well, when this COVID-19 pandemic is not there, right? Then what we are doing, right? We have to prepare ourselves for the battle of the life, right? We have to work on our mental strength. We have to work on our health, personal health, right? We have to work on our career. We have to work on our business. Of course, career, business, and everything, we have to always keep working. And of course, all of you are students, so you have to keep working on your studies and everything. Because I'm now facing this situation. That's why I'm again and again this example of business is coming, because I'm guiding a lot of professionals. So the point is that we have to prepare ourselves, right? When the peaceful times are there, prepare yourself. Make yourself mentally and emotionally strong. Work on your physical health. Work on your mental health. Work on your emotional health, so that when the tough situations and when the challenges in life come, we can face it. And these challenges need not be very big challenges. These challenges may be, like I see, the type of pressure students undergo when they are in fourth year of their college, sitting for placement, right? The type of pressure comes, right? Similarly, when a student, though some of you may be trying for higher education, you will have to you will have to sit for GRE, TOEFL exam. The type of pressure comes, applying for the foreign universities and everything. The type of pressure comes when we are some of you may be going for CAT and GATE and all other different type of competitive exams, looking for admission in some of the best universities in India and abroad, right? The tough situations will be there. But before that, if you have prepared yourself well, if you have prepared yourself to be mentally strong, if you are emotionally strong, you will be able to face the situations, right? Sometimes I see people, right, when they go and face an interview, they are completely gone. Like it takes sometimes 10, 20 interviews for the people to get into the flow and talk confidently in front of the interviewers, right? So that your personality, your confidence, your mental and emotional strength will always be checked, right? The more you are mentally strong, the more you are mentally tough, the more your confidence is strong, the more you will have chances in your life, the more you will have opportunities in your life. That's why a warrior spirit is very, very important, right? And and that's why we have to keep preparing ourselves, right? So when situations are nice, when situations are wonderful, don't become complacent, don't become relaxed. Sweat yourself, sweat. Work on your career, work on your improving yourself, work on your personality, work on your mental and physical health, work on your emotional health, so that when those challenges, when those tough situations, when those exams, when those ups and downs of life will come, you will be easily able to face them, right? So that's why the saying is, the more you sweat in the peace, the less you will bleed in the war. If you have practiced yourself very nicely, when you go to the war, you will be able to take control of the situation, and the enemies, they cannot harm you so easily. They cannot trouble you so easily, right? So that's why we have to prepare ourselves. Preparation is something very important. So remember this statement. This is a very important statement. The more you sweat in the peace, the lesser you will bleed in the war. Always keep preparing, right? And now I will be telling you about the story of Steve Jobs. Mm. The Steve Jobs, right? One of the most inspirational person I have seen in my life, and what a amazing story of this person. What an amazing fighter he was. What a person, what a struggle he underwent in his life. Sometimes when we see successful people, we feel, oh, we just see the one side of their personality, one aspect of their life, but we don't see how much of hard work, how much of struggle, how much of emotional turmoil, how much of ups and downs they had to face to reach to that situation. How much of we can say the challenges the life had thrown in front of them. We don't sometimes we don't know about those situations. That's why we have very cozy expectation from our life. A little bit here and there goes, we become very disturbed. A little bit here and there happens, we start getting into depression. अरे भैया, आजकल तो मैं देख रहा हूँ लोगों को और कोई काम ही नहीं है, जिस थोड़ा सा भी कुछ हुआ डिप्रेशन में चला गया, मैं कहा यार तेरे को और कोई काम नहीं है, बस डिप्रेशन में ही जाना है, बस स्ट्रेस में ही जाना है, पॉजिटिव काम करो भाई, जैसे ना इंफीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स में ही चले जाना है ऑलवेज, दैट इज व्हाट इज अवर लाइफ. नो, that is not is our life, right? And when we see the examples of these the wonderful exemplary people, then we can understand what this life is all about and how we have to struggle if we want that situation, if we want that position, right? If we want that success in our life, yeah, we have to struggle, we have to be ready, we have to be mentally tough. Anyone can do that, but he should have that mindset, he should have that mental toughness. So this is Steve Jobs, right? As we all know, he was the founder of Apple company, and he was actually. I will tell you in very short about his story. He was actually born to a single mother, right, in America, and then his father had already left, and the mother was unable to raise this child. So then she had given Steve Jobs to some other people to raise him up. Right? He was adopted. He was adopted. Sorry, adopted by some other couple in America, and they started raising him. But fortunately, these couples were very, although they were like lower middle class as per American standard, but they were very loving and caring for this Steve Jobs, and they would give he was a single person in their family, and they would give him a lot of love, a lot of affection, and they were trying to raise him very nicely. And Steve Jobs was a quite intelligent person right from his childhood. He had a great interest in especially in the field of electronics. He was a very outgoing person and always wanted to do something great in his life, always wanted to do something big in his life, right? So then slowly as he moved ahead, he met his friend. His friend's name was Steve Wozniak. He was the friend. So both of them, they combined together and they made a personal computer. During those times, computers were very we can say expensive. During those times, it was not affordable for the common people to have those things. So they thought, okay, let us build some machine, let us build a computer which everyone can afford. So they made this computer in their garage, in their house garage. They made their computer, and then the thing came in Steve's mind that, okay, let us start mass production of this. Now you can think the how he would think, right? He would always think of doing something big. He was not limited by the limiting situations. A person, can you imagine a person sitting in the garage, lower middle class person, and he's thinking of starting mass production, competing with IBM. During that time, IBM was the leader in computer manufacturing. So he was thinking of competing with IBM, right? That was Steve Jobs. And then slowly, I think Steve Jobs was 21 or something. I forgot the exact age. Both of them started this Apple company. And within very short time, this Apple company started capturing the market. Very soon, they started making a presence in the market, and soon he became he became wealthy, and soon he became the youngest wealthy person and very famous person all over America, right? So this is how the growth started happening, and this happened within a span of very few years. And as you know, as companies start growing, many investors, they start putting their money. If we have to grow big, then you have to invite the investors to invest money in your company. So many investors came in the company. A board of directors was formed and everything. And after 10 years, when he was almost 30, a turning point came in his life, right? The turning point was Steve Jobs was trying to introduce some new things in the company. He was trying to do some innovation. He was always for innovation, and sometimes for innovation, you have to take risks, and sometimes those innovations may fail. When you launch a product in front of the people, they may not accept it, they may not appreciate it, the product may not receive a good response, right? So Steve Jobs was working on some of the aspects and the things, and then his one of his experiment, or one of the product which he launched, which was launched under his leadership, actually failed. It did not receive that good response from the customers. all over America. And then the board of directors, they started turning against him, right? And then there were a series of mismatch of opinions and a series of uh, uh, troubled relationships and difficult times. And then after some time, it says, like in terms of, like, different people have different things. Some people say that Steve Jobs resigned himself, but Steve Jobs, in his own words, Steve Jobs says that the situations were made in such a way that I was forced to resign, right? The situations were created and I was forced to resign, right? So he was literally thrown out of the company which he himself founded. Can you imagine? Hmm? The company, can you imagine? Just imagine yourself in that situation. You worked hard to, like, from a garage you started a company, and you worked hard day and night to establish that company, make it into like a market leader, and start competing with the best brands in all over the world. And you're well settled, you are most famous person in America, and suddenly there is a mismatch of opinion, and you are literally thrown out of that very company which you have founded, right? For which you have given your sweat and toil, right? So imagine the 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 situation in which Steve Jobs was in, right? And it says, Steve Jobs says that I was feeling like, because he was very famous person. Steve Jobs was actually very famous personality. He was not like another name, right? He was like always used to remain in limelight, and as soon as he was out, it became a big news, right? And earlier he was known as like the most successful person, and suddenly he was called as public failure. Can you imagine? Public failure. He was called as public failure for a mistake which he did not do. Yeah, of course. When you are doing business, you will commit mistakes. You will learn from your own experiences, right? So you may launch sometimes some product or something which may not receive that good response from the people. That is inevitable, but we cannot punish a person so much for this, for such type of thing, right? So he was called as public failure, right? And he felt like, as if he thought, I should go somewhere in loneliness, and I should just stop doing anything and just stop doing any business and just lead a simple life, right? So then he just moved out of that, like, he just went into seclusion for some time, and then started thinking what he should do next. But this person was a person of strong, like as I was telling, he had a strong fighting spirit. He was not a person to accept defeat so easily. Yeah. He was a fighter. He was a warrior within. He was a fighter. Literally, he was a fighter. So he decided. Now imagine. Can you imagine? Right, the type of spirit he was having. Now, he took off for some time, and then he decided to open not just one. Right. He literally he opened two companies. Of course, one company I think he opened, and one company he purchased, something like that. So he started operating two companies instead of one. And this person was so expert in management, and he already had that experience of 10 years managing Apple and everything. Very soon, now these two companies, I'm forgetting the name of these two companies. One was Next. One company was Next, and another was some studio, Pixel Animation Studio, Pixar Animation Studio, right? So these two companies he founded, and not founded. One company he purchased, and one company he founded. So and then he started managing the companies. And can you imagine? Very soon, again, those companies started making their presence in the market, and these companies got established in the market, and soon again, uh, Steve Jobs, again in the limelight, again famous, again people were looking at him, and one of the famous magazines awarded him the award. This was not during the times of Apple. He was out of Apple, and he was working on these two companies. This this magazine gave him the award of best entrepreneur of the year. Can you imagine? After going through that down phase in his life, he again rose himself up, and he was recognized by the people as the best entrepreneur, right? So soon, then the things started growing, and it became very big. Meanwhile, the Apple company's downfall started, right? Apple company started going down, and They committed a series of mistakes, and slowly they started losing their market share. And after some time, they were almost on the verge of bankruptcy. Hmm. That was their situation. And then they started doing their analysis: what went wrong, what happened, what didn't happen. And then they realized that maybe we should bring Steve Jobs back to the company. Hmm. That's what their thought process was. So amazing. Can you imagine how the destiny sometimes uh, plays itself, right? Sometimes the very that very company he founded, he was thrown out of that company, and now he was taken back in that very company. So we can understand how the life goes around sometimes. So then they got into a negotiation with Steve Jobs, and then purchased one of his companies. Next was purchased by Apple, and Steve Jobs was taken back into the Apple management. In the beginning, he was not given the position of CEO, but after some time, he was made the part of the management. But after some time, he convinced the board of directors to make him the interim CEO, ICEO, and then after some time, he was made the permanent CEO of Apple. And this time, when Steve Jobs became CEO, the way he managed Apple was literally amazing. Under his leadership, all these flagship products of Apple, yeah, all this iPad was introduced during his time. Smartphones were introduced during his time. The Apple laptops, these trendy Apple laptops, which with wonderful trendy design, looking so beautiful, they were introduced during his time, right? So he was a person of innovation, and especially he gave a lot of I was going through an interview. So when Apple executives, they have a choice when they are designing a product, they have a choice. Okay, let us give more features, or let us focus on the design and elegance and quality part of the product. So what do they choose? They choose design, elegance, and quality. That's what they choose. They are not bothered about how many features they are giving, but whatever features they are giving, whatever design they are giving, it should be very elegant, it should look very beautiful, very wonderful. So that's what their focus is, right? And this focus didn't came on its own. This was the focus of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs always focused on elegance. Steve Jobs always focused on wonderful design. That's why we see that Apple products are very beautifully designed, very beautiful. They may lack in features as per the Chinese companies are giving so many wonderful mobile phones with a lot of features, yeah, but the elegance, that thing is very much there in the Apple product. So then he started leading the things into innovation. And when this tablet, Apple tablet, came up during his time, he launched one by one. He was launching, and slowly Apple became a tech giant again. It captured the entire market again. Some of the products they launched for the very first time, and they became the market leader, right? And it was like as if no, it was like no, they were flooding the entire thing, and they're capturing everything, right? And the customer base was very elite customer base, very elegant customer base. They were forming that wonderful customer base, right? So that was the thing, and slowly the Apple company became the leader. It came out from bankruptcy. Can you imagine? It came out from the bankruptcy and became the number one, not number one. Yeah, I think for some time it was number one, but the top tech companies, right, at par with Microsoft and everything. So top tech companies in the world because of the leadership of Steve Jobs. And then all these situations were going on, and he was very famous. He was at the top of his career, and things were going on very wonderfully. And then suddenly, it was in I think 2004, he was detected with pancreatic cancer. Can you imagine? Right? Young person. He was in his, I think he was in his 50s or 40s maybe, right? And detected with cancer. But Steve Jobs, again, as I was telling you, he was a fighter. So uh, started fighting with this cancer. But underwent an initially he was trying some alternative therapies and everything didn't work. Went for an operation, and the cancer was removed. He became all right, and again he started managing and leading the Apple company in a very nice way. But unfortunately, this cancer returned back. I think in 2006 or something, returned back, right? And again, he started fighting with this cancer, right? And fought till 2000, I think 11. Fought till 2011. I think in October 2011 he left the world, right? So he fought till that time, right? And and now now imagine the mindset of a person who is who is at the pinnacle of his success. Suddenly he is detected with cancer, and suddenly the cancer returns back, and then now suddenly he is preparing for a different journey in his life now, right? But what was the attitude and what was the mindset? What was the fighting spirit of Steve Jobs? He continued being the CEO of Apple company, right? He continued leading the company in terms of innovation. For some time, he had to take off, yeah, but he was very active, right? He was very active, continued leading, continued, and Apple company kept growing. Even when he was sick, he was fighting with the disease. The Apple company kept growing, right? So that was the fighting spirit of Steve Jobs. Even the disease could not put him down. Rather, he just, like a warrior, he kept on fighting with the situation. Be it the situation of being in a lower middle class family, being in a garage and trying to form some product and thinking very big to compete with the biggest of the giants in America during those times, or be it the time when he was thrown away from that very company which he founded, gave his sweat and toil to put it to bring that company to the new height, or be it the detection of cancer while being at the pinnacle of his career, and then the cancer returns back, and then fighting with the cancer, still leading the company, right? So that was his fighting spirit, right? So that's why being a warrior of life is something which is very important. We cannot avoid, as I was telling you, this seminar and this session was not to make you fearful. Please understand. This was not to make you fearful. Rather, if we will be in that fighting spirit, if we will be having that mental toughness and self-confidence, then we will also remain very happy in our life, no matter whatever may be the situation. Because when we have that mental toughness, when we are having that self-confidence, we are actually in the charge of our mind. We are actually in the charge of our emotions. And when our emotions, when our mind is under our control, we can remain happy in any situation. That is what is the thing. So that's why, as youths, you are the leaders of the future. Please cultivate that mental toughness. Become a warrior. Become a winner. And understand that life is not an easy journey. Understand that problems, troubles, and trials, and all these things will keep coming. Expect those situations, and don't think that you are alone. Don't think that it is you only. You are someone very special. Life has chosen you. तेरे को आपको अकेला करके पकड़ के पीटा जा रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Everyone has problems in his life. ऐसा नहीं है कि you are the single, आपको अलग किया, कॉर्नर में लेकर के गए और आपकी पिटाई कर रहे हैं. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Right? Life has ups and downs for everyone. Even the most successful of the people, they also have to face the situations and the battles in their life, and it's inevitable, literally, right? But if we have that fighting spirit, if we have that mental toughness, then yeah, we will be able to face those situations. We will not only face, but we will also grow through these situations. Please understand, when we positively go through the tough situations, then we also grow through those situations. Why Steve Jobs, why Bill Gates, and why all these people, they went to such heights? Because they underwent a lot of struggle also. They had to undergo a lot of struggle in their life, and because they didn't avoided struggle in their life, they didn't avoided fighting against the tough situations. Even Bill Gates, as I was telling, the time is almost up now. Even Bill Gates, he had to face failures, right? The very first company with which Bill Gates founded was a failure. 3 years they tried, it failed, right? Still, they again tried, and then this Microsoft came up, right? So we cannot think of like having a smooth journey in our life, right? Now, these things will come, but when we go through these situations, when we struggle in these situations, when we fight in these situations, yeah, sometimes the people may laugh at us because we are a failure, as per like when Steve Jobs became a public failure. Maybe people were laughing at him, people were making fun of him. Yeah, no issues about it. You go through the situation, you face the situation, and then once you are out of that situation, you have grown very nicely. right? Like for example, the experience which Steve Jobs got in Apple, use that same experience in forming those two companies. And then when he got back to the Apple, the experience which he got in those two companies, he used that thing in Apple to make it a tech giant, right? So that's why don't think of running away, don't think of avoiding, think of facing the situation, think of going through the situation, and think of growing through the situation, right? And that's it from my side for today. Time is already we are 1 minute over the time, and sorry for that. So I hope you were able to understand something, you were able to make some sense out of it. This session was not to make you fearful, but just to inspire you and to have that positive energy within, and then with that renewed vigor and that renewed energy, fighting with the situations in the life. If anyone has any questions, I think it's time for questions. So anyone has any questions, or it was every when they don't have any question, it means that either they have understood everything or they could not relate with anything what we told. So something like that. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the most difficult part of being a motivational speaker, according to you?
The most difficult part of being a motivational speaker. Yeah, one thing is when you are a motivational speaker, first of all, you should yourself remain very much motivated. Then only you can motivate others. When you are thinking of giving positivity to others, you yourself should remain very much positive, right? So I think that is the most challenging thing, because when we talk of, like, it's easy to talk about the tough situations, the ups and downs and all these things, but everyone has to undergo. Even you may have to, even I as a person has to undergo the situations in the life, and during those tough times, applying those principles which you are trying to teach to others, that is something I feel is one of the most challenging parts, right? First of all, like when you are trying to motivate others, you yourself have to be very much motivated, because people can feel your energy, right? If I am sitting in front of the camera, or if I am in front of the audience and I'm myself very much down in my energy, I cannot give positivity to others, right? So I should be filled with that energy, and this cannot be artificially done. I cannot just go and start shouting, right? That is, by shouting no one becomes a motivational speaker. Rather, when you have that spirit of the spirit of that positivity, when you are yourself very much self motivated, and when you are struggling to apply, I don't say I'm perfectly applying, but I'm struggling to apply the principles which I'm telling to the people, which I am prescribing to them, that these are the principles to face the situations in life. Go ahead. So I also have to be ready for it, and rather I have to apply. Whenever problems come, I have to apply those principles in our life. So I think this is one of the tough things of being a motivational speaker. That's what I hope this answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Any other question?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was really captivated with the session, and I'm pretty sure others are as well. So, I would like to ask, how do you ensure your speeches to be so captivating and informative at the same time? If you could enlighten us with some lines.
Okay. So how do I prepare my speeches? Yeah. So one thing is there that, as I was telling you, whatever we do, it should come from our heart. That is what is something like pouring out your heart. That is what is like like in my life. Since the beginning, I was very much fascinated by the idea of helping others. Like like when I was getting into IIT, so I was working very hard, and I was thinking that I have to do something to bring about a change in the society, right? And I have to stand against, not against, but I have to stand to change the direction of the society. And if sometimes I see that society is going in a wrong direction, I have to do something to get people to the right direction. So that was my that's what I always resonated with in my life right from the beginning. And like as I passed out, then again that same spirit remained, right? So one of the things which is there, like which I find very much in my system is, yeah, I have a strong um, desire to help people in their life. So that's why when I try to speak, it comes out from my heart, right? And when something comes out from your heart, it is not artificial, then naturally it will carry that weight and that impact, right? It will straight, because something which comes out from the heart, it will go and directly touch the heart of the people. That is what I feel. That is what is my experience. That something which is from your heart will go to the heart, right? And something which is from your mind, from your intellect, will touch the intellect, right? We can speak in a way which is intellectually very stimulating to the people. We can do a lot of word jugglery, but it may not touch the heart of the people. So that's why whenever we are preparing some speech, it should be with like let's keep the foundation very clear. The foundation is, yeah, I want to make an impact in the life of in the lives of the people whom I'm going to speak to now, whom I'm going to interact with now. Like for example, when I'm sitting here now in front of all of you, so many of you, I have a responsibility. I should make a positive impact in your life. I should inspire you with positivity. So that responsibility I am feeling, and then with that responsibility, with that noble intention, yeah, I want to do something for these people. They have invited me with a lot of expectations and with a lot of respect, so I should give that respect, due respect, and that due reciprocation to these people. So with that intention and with that desire within the heart to create a difference in the lives of the people, then I think of what will be the best which can help and motivate them. So that's how I do. And second thing is, yeah, by nature I'm very curious. So I keep reading about the uh, uh, like the eminent personalities, because as I was telling, like one of the ways to get motivated is you read about the successful people and try to find out the struggles they underwent, and try to find out how they spent their time, how they led their life. So when we do that, then we ourselves feel very inspired, right? So when I would read the life of Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, I would hear their interviews. I would be very like curiosity to know what was it which led them to such a great heights and such great success. So that's how, because of my curiosity, I like when you are very curious, when you are very eager to know something, you just, the knowledge which goes just sinks into your system. So that's how the things are. And that's it. Like I don't like follow any what we can say tricks to captivate people, but I feel that because I try to do it like from my heart, and so that's how it appeals to the people. So that's what I can say. Yeah, and I of course I do prepare well before I write my points. I make PPTs and everything. So that happens. That is it. I think I have answered your question.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really nice to listen to you today. So thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, I think
Oh,
no more questions.
mm,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So I think yeah, Mrityunjay, am I talking? Yeah. So
Yeah,
Mrityunjay, should we finish it now?
yes, sir. I think participants, no more question is there.
Yeah.
So
So
thank you,
yeah,
sir.
before
Yes,
yeah,
sir. Just
yeah.
you were saying
So
something.
yeah. So before finishing, my heartfelt thanks to all of you, and like I wish a very bright future for all of you, and all of you are the youth. And as we hear that youth are the leaders for the country, you are going to lead the world. And uh, please understand that you have to be the leader, and leader is always uh, like when we talk about the leader, a leader is very inspirational, right? He is very strong in his mind. He is mentally very strong. He has a lot of self confidence. He is ready to take initiatives, right? He is ready to take the risks in his life, not uncalculated risk, not foolish risk, but calculated and smart risk. Yeah, but we should not fear taking initiatives, taking risks in his life. So that is what a closing message from my side. And thank you very, very much. for inviting me. It was indeed a privilege to be with all of you, and very happy to be with all of you. And it indeed reminded me of my college days. And if you want to take one thing from this session, I would want you to remember, याद रहेगा. वो कॉलेज के दिन जो हमने बिताए वो हमें याद रहेंगे. So live to your fullest these college days and just move ahead in your career. So wish you all the best for your career and future life ahead.
Thank you so much, sir, for the truly wonderful and inspiring session, sir. It was a really pleasure for all of us to have this highly motivational session with you. I hope that our path cross again in the coming future.
Yeah. Looking forward. Actually, I am missing all of you. I'm missing that environment where, like, suppose I am in the auditorium and all of you were sitting in front of me and we are interacting with each other, and I can look at your faces, smiling faces, bright faces, big eyes, and sometimes when I'm cracking joke, I'm able to hear your laughter and everything. So I'm missing that. Yeah. And sometimes in future, looking forward to be physically with all of you. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for being a part of our fest. We all enjoyed and learned a lot from it. Thank you, sir, so much.
Thank you. So should we finish the session now?
Yes, sir. We should wind up.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.